Hello, everybody. I'm so glad you could make our presentation today. I always love to come out here and talk with you guys and give you some of the latest information that our company is working on. In today's conversation and presentation, I'm especially excited about because it has to do with our with what Oracle is doing, the investments we've made, and some of the announcements that we're going to be coming out with in the next 10 days, specifically around our Spark and Solaris roadmap. And it's incredibly exciting, and I'll explain why a little bit further in the presentation. So really, I want to segment the presentation to a couple different areas. First off, I'd like to talk a little bit about the history of our two companies. We know that you have an install base still of 200 plus Solaris Spark servers. Some of those servers have been around for a long time. They've been servicing your company extremely well over that time. There's probably the utilization of those boxes have changed over years, and you always want to make sure that you're getting the most utilization out of any asset that you have. And I think there's room there to take a look at those assets, especially from the new technologies that we're ready to introduce. We know that you've been purchasing not only our technologies, but other technologies as well, such in the Linux space, the x86 commodity space. And we want to make sure we compare and contrast our new and latest Spark developments against those technologies and help you distinguish where our roadmap really can provide significant benefit, and especially in a different area of thinking around engineered and pre-engineered systems. So we could talk about that a little bit as well. Let's talk a little bit about Oracle. There's been a lot of discussion since the acquisition of Sun. What has Oracle done with Spark? Has it just purchased Spark because it wanted other technologies with a Sun had, such as Java, such as some of the application sets or whatever? Or what did Spark and Solaris really mean to Oracle? And as it turns out, and what you'll see in our announcements, there's been significant R&D around Spark and Solaris that would only prove that Oracle was very serious about Spark and Solaris technology. So we are going to be announcing new generations of our Spark technology in the area of what we're going to call T5, we're going to call them M5, and we're going to call M10 as well. So these are all new chipsets that are going to be announced out to the install base here, out to the customer community over the next 10 days. And they all have, and I think just if you look at that alone, and when we get into the details of the specifics of each of these different technologies, you're going to see that not only did Oracle put significant R&D and thought leadership into these technologies, they are going to provide a wider range of use cases than what Sun ever delivered when they were developing and delivering Spark technology. The third piece is what does that mean to you? What does it mean to my install base in the areas of cost reduction, in the area of complexity, and in the area of options? All tremendous in many different ways. So we'll talk about that as well. And then finally, where do we go from here? So as I mentioned earlier, we're ready to announce a whole series of new Spark chips, Spark processors, and Spark technology. Certainly, we have partnership in doing that. So you have Oracle as part of the engineering effort, and then you also have Fujitsu as part of the engineering effort, and and together we have developed these new lines of processors. The T5 chip, that is a new version of our multi-threaded chip, and this provides more cores, more multi-threading, more processing than what we've ever been able to provide with the prior technologies, with faster clock rates, overall better throughput, overall better performance. That will not be a replacement to the T4 technology, but it will be an add-on. So you'll still have T4 at the lower ends of the processing requirements, and then to T5s for larger, more virtualization capability. We're also announcing the replacement of the M series technology, the next version of that, and those will be called M5s and M10s. These are developments, co-developments with Fujitsu, and these will provide those massive especially in the M10 space, those massive, large SMP type of replacements. So when you look at these series and the different models, we are going to be presenting entry level servers, a line of those all the way up through the most massive sizes into the M10 processors, and we'll have our systems consultants, sales consultants will provide more technical detail on how to do that. But through this T5, T4, T5, the M5, and the M10 timeline, there will be a size and a configuration of processor that will meet any need throughout your business use cases, providing very small workloads, very small processors for lab environments, for development environments, for small environment, maybe departmental type of environments, all the way up to the most large environments that certainly are mainframe RAS specific type of workloads. So to me now is the most exciting part of this conversation. That's the cost. We've had the conversation about our announcements, about what Oracle has done in the R&D, about your install base, and about the new processes that we're going to be announcing over the next 10 days. While we can't talk specifically about the cost right now, what I can talk about is in generalities, what is this going to mean to you as you go forward, and hopefully goes forward with the Spark technologies and refreshing that old install base that you have. In the past, you knew that our E25K servers, maybe our M5000 servers, our old T series, whether it was the T2000, the 5120s, we're talking about in the range of millions to in the range of 200K to $500,000. And here in the range, certainly in the $100,000, 100K range. With this new line of processors starting at the very low end, even going up to the very large end here, the low end, we're going to be talking in the range of the same cost of commodity servers. So you're going to be talking about possibly as low as in the 15K range, and then scaling up. What's beautiful about that is these are such high performing boxes that we're taking what used to cost $100,000 or possibly even $200,000, dropping those workloads onto boxes now that cost from a purchase standpoint of 15 to 25K, but being able to get multiple of those workloads onto these high performing boxes, ultimately driving out the maintenance costs, driving out the acquisition costs, and driving out the support costs. Which ultimately, what does that do for your company? That basically takes your operational expenses and just drives those in an arrow strictly going down, as opposed to either flat to maintain your current environment or up to try to migrate those over to other technologies like Linux or off from the P series. There are those types of things. So we believe that we are the one that can provide the sharpest down arrow for your operational environment for your current Solaris install base.